you're going to be able to just lane properly. So there's going to be a recovery period for Magnus. The issue with Magnus 3 is that recovery period is usually taken over by your need to go help your carry. Literally go and empower your carry, and you can't even farm at all. And it's terrible, honestly. But I guess you'll find some farm between the team fights and me sap some of Juggernauts. You can also put him 4 if you think that he's still a threat, right? You can pick up something more consistent like a Centaur, perhaps.
Ooh,
that's ADR Invoker.
That's an Adriano Invoker. I'm not sure how I feel about this, though. Like, I do like Invoker, but I don't feel like he's in a great spot right now. But it does solve some of our issues, right? We're talking about the initiation. I've been seeing a lot of Quas-Wex Invoker, actually, recently. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best in this particular choice here. But that is going to allow them to either reset or initiate, which is something that paiN desperately needed.
I will say that a lot of times I've seen games where I'll go, this is a perfect Quas-Exort Invoker, and the team will still go Quas-Wex. So I'm starting to think that teams they think he's just always the better option, right? He's just a faster Invoker as well. You pigeonhole yourself less in the idea of, I need to get my Ags, my Midas, and my timings. It's just, okay, I guess if I get an Ags at a good timing, it's fine. But meanwhile, I have Tornado EMP. It's very versatile. That's good. It's unfortunate because I think ADR is like wonderful Sunstriker. I think that's one of his best things. It's amazing watching him like a sniper. But it's still a good pick. Very versatile. You don't know if the puck's gonna go mid or not, and instead of falling for Beast Coast traps in games, just go, well, Invoker. He counters most things. He's a pretty good laner against most things. Whatever. Just wash your hands of the situation.
My concern is looking at both of these teams though right now is what kind of catch do they have? Because it doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot, honestly. At paiN Gaming, maybe a little bit more, right? You've got the Inkswell that's going to come off with Grimstoke. You've got Cold Snap, and of course RP, which you don't want to use to catch usually. You want to use that for your big team fight. But if you look at Beast Coast, they've only really got a couple different things, and some of those are ultimates. That's a little bit worrisome for me.
That's true. It's also the Will-O-Wisp and the Dream Coil can be used as catch because lower cooldown, but definitely not Will-O-Wisp. And Home Missile is, laughable at best, right? As a catch technique. So what are you missing here? If Beast Coast does go for the puck as a support, then I guess you have a mid laner. But the Kunk is still in the pool, actually, I just realized. So that could be an option as well. Which just brings everything to the table, brings some team fight, some damage. I know that obviously Crystal can play that. He's not bad matchup against Invoker either. Well, he's okay.
He's okay. Well, you know.
Yeah. I was thinking Quas-Wex with Cold Snap and stuff can be a bit annoying. The last pick is Mirana for paiN. There's more catch for you as well. I like that.
It's a little bit more skill shot dependent, but it's more catch. True. And it's also that Moonlight Shadow becomes a huge problem, especially when you hit that level 25. If you opt to go for that talent, I think it's minus 70 seconds cooldown. You're just constantly wondering. So they're really looking. This is a very tidy draft, actually, coming out from paiN Gaming, I think. They've got some early to mid-game presence, but they definitely have a lot of, late-game capabilities, too, with the Invoker, the Jug, and, of course, Mirana. Apologies, guys. I'm still getting over being very, very ill. Special thank you to D-Sword here for joining me on this cast, so I don't have to do it solo and die on stream for y'all. But if I mute myself, it's because I've gone into a coughing fit, so... But I wasn't about to pass up the opportunity to do this game. This is going to be so hype. I'm so excited.
This is real dedication, guys, You're ill, but you're still casting the SA Qualifiers. That shows love for Beast Coast and paiN Gaming. I want to see what this last pick is, honestly. I still like the Kunkka, but I'm just thinking, is this really going to be a puck 5? And that's going to work out? Like you said, some teams were trying it out. It was like a thing that some teams were talking about. They haven't picked puck a single time these qualifiers, though, so I have no information to go on, to be honest. Beast Coast, I like that they're trying to develop this versatility, though. We'll see. If not, you can pick up a support with much more reliable catch, right? Lion, Shadow Shaman, these kind of supports still in the pool, but definitely not supports that Beast Coast like going for. They're more of a run-at-you team rather than a stun and kill you.
For sure. Look at this lineup right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely run at your faces. All right, so they're going to go for Chris Lux Templar Assassins. They're going to make the 5 work here with puck. I'm excited.
Who needs catch?
Thoughts, though. So Adriano, so this is really tough for me, actually, because I've watched Adriano for a long time. I've watched Chris Brown for a bit, and he's really come into his own now, and this is his best hero. But I feel like Adriano should win this mid matchup.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Adriano's confidence in the Invoker is massive. And against TA, I don't think Invoker's too outclassed, to be honest. You have the Wex to take out the Refraction, and EMP can be a real nuisance to a TA. With the Urn early as well, that's a great way of dealing with a TA. It does depend on the earlier levels, though, I think, because TA has an upper hand in level 1 to 3, and if you can get take advantage of that to try to, outlast the Invoker, get a couple good denies, and just allow yourself to go to the jungle without much issue. It's fine. Chris Luck always has that option, of course, of just carrying stacks, going to jungle, recovering that way, and ignoring the lane entirely. And a Quaswex Invoker is not the biggest threat to let him free farm.
That's true. I'm trying to figure out which draft I like better here. That is pretty difficult for me. Do you have a personal preference on who you think is going to take game number 1 just based off of the drafts?
I came here as obviously a Hispanic. I was going to go Beast Coast all the way, right? But obviously the drafts, I really like paiN Gaming's drafts. I think it's very consistent. They have a couple top picks for them as well. Magnus Lelis, you mentioned, ADR Invoker, and also HFN on the Juggernaut. There's a pick we don't see often these days, but it's fantastic. Even Teal Cormorana is pretty top notch. And on top of that, I think the draft has great cohesion. It's easier to execute. The better catch also to me is a big issue as well. Running at you, I don't think it works against better teams like paiN. Sometimes does, but paiN has counter initiation to deal with you. So I'm actually going to go with paiN.
Wow. All right. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the Schofield puck is a little bit of a question mark for me, although they are running it as a position 4 in this case. So he is going to have a little bit more farm. This is going to be interesting because Beast Coast, right before, we ran into the issue of anytime that you make a mistake, one of these teams is going to take advantage of it because they both have played at a very, very high level. So they're not going to be able to get away with as much if they make mistakes. So I'm not sure if this is going to... Well, I just realized TA's eyes are a little bit off, and that totally threw me off.
That was scary, yeah.
It was a little. It was a little. But I'm interested just to see, are they going to be able to execute this draft just perfectly coming out from the side of Beast Coast? Because if they are able to do that, I think they've got the edge, but I think if they make a single mistake here, or not a single, but like a couple of mistakes, I do believe that paiN will have the upper hand. I feel like their draft just goes into that late game much better.
I agree with you. The Gyrocopter versus Juggernaut is a pretty even matchup, but your late game as paiN will just come sooner, right? So it's just that consistency to farm always with the Empower. I will say, though, that it is a good draft to run for the first match of the best of 3. Like, if you're going to run something risky like the Puck 4, that's the first match to try it out. Doesn't work out, it's fine. You have a second match to play your usual. So it's okay for Beast Coast even if they lose this. I think they understand this, but they're going some confident heroes. We'll see. I'm really interested in how this 4 puck will go. I just like the team with the weirder picks in general.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about doing regionals, right? Is the fact that you get to see heroes that aren't typically picked up in that in the T1 scene, the main stage, what have you, because they're trying stuff out here. This is the time to do it.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, this is also kind of practice for a lot of teams, especially the newer teams. Luckily, Beast Coast is not new, so they'll have some confidence. I'm sure the strat they've thought of for a while. Now we'll see. Engagement bottom lane.
All right, well, there are 4 heroes here. I'm not sure they'll be able to contest this. I think... Oh, the arrow comes through. Does manage to land over onto Schofield. Blinding Light coming out as well. But that spin is doing a lot of damage. He'll be able to get the first blood. And now, Hector trying to run himself away, get that rune. Looks like they're just going to abandon it. They'll allow him to take it today.
Yeah, they have to. They do lose first blood, but at least take 2 runes in the three runes in the process. So yeah, as you mentioned, it's not that bad for Beast Coast. I think sacrificing your support for a rune is actually worth it almost all the time. You don't lose much gold, and the first blood gold is fine. But as long as you don't give it to the enemy carry, it's okay. Teolikor took that. It's not that big a deal. Now I'm interested now to see the mid lane matchup. I wonder how much pressure, if paiN is going to put pressure early, and they're already doing musical lanes, as we can see.
Yeah, you can see the swap going up here. They're going to be sending HFN towards that top lane with the Mirana. And like you said, I'm very interested to see how this mid lane goes up, because I feel like this is very much a test of skill going on between these 2 players. Obviously, Adriano's been around for a very long time. He's proven himself quite a lot, although bottom lane. Hold on, I've got my eyes over here on Lelis as they're harassing him pretty hard.
They don't have Blinding Light just yet, though. It's level 1 Holy Missile for Hector as well. We're seeing this more and more often just to harass the lane. Make sure you can really put some pressure. If they come near you, doesn't matter. You already have auto attacks anyway.
And this is something I like about Beast Coast. They do this quite a bit. They like to do the aggressive tri-lane. So we've already seen, like we said, HFN, he's going to try to dodge it. HFN is usually, the one person that, you make space for HFN. I've said it again, I've said it before. He'll usually be able to carry your team. But if you put pressure on him and you keep it consistently, you take good objectives, it becomes a big problem. Lelis, again, getting knocked back here by that Blinding Light. I really do like Schofield on this position 5 because Puck does have such high base attack damage. It's very good for harassing.
And the new Ring of Basilius works like wonders for him. a lot of damage. The extra mana regen is really useful and allows you to actually do something more in lane. If you're going to do a triangle like this, you better put some pressure. Right now, you're securing a lot of farm for Hector, so it's fine. But you also want to try to at least completely denounce the Magnus, and it is working. He has literally 0 last. Letus cannot even get close to the lane. Look at this, he might actually die.
And that's a huge problem, actually, because this is going to be your main initiator, aside from, you know, maybe the Invoker throwing out a tornado or whatnot, but he's very dependent on, you know, making sure he can get those levels, making sure that he can get that Blink Dagger so he can be a part of these fights, and they're really shutting him down really hard down here.
Exactly. I would say the level is actually a massive thing here because sure, you might not be able to get much gold. Okay, you can recover somehow with Empower. But the levels, you need to have that Empower early so you can actually help your carry. If that Empower is not up, then nothing you can do. And the issue with Magnus 3 is that you can't really item or skill build according to the lane. You have to go for that Empower. You're always locked into that. No levels of Shockwave or whatever will save you. So this is what you have to play with. It's tough. It's not going to get easier from here for Lelis.
Top lane too, it feels like Whisper's having the time of his life. Currently sitting at 11-2. HFN has caught up quite a bit with 11-7, but they just can't really bully this guy out of lane. And if you notice, they've made a rotation here from Schofield. So he's also coming up to this top lane. They want to keep applying that pressure to HFN, which I think is very important. And if they're putting pressure on HFN, guess who can't go mid and throw an arrow at the TA?
The Mirana?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, pass the test. Good job.
Good. Yeah, I was just thinking there was that a trick question. Who else has arrow?
No.
Anyway,
No.
that was you're talking about that they want this matchup in the mid lane because they trust their mid laner very well. And bottom lane, 4-for-4 goes down. It was just a home and missile that got him actually in the end. So they just harassed him and home and missiled him. But as you mentioned, this is something that beastcoast also does, which is surprising to me. They have an immense amount of trust in their like mid laner or carry. They often want to get these lanes where they want to secure the farm for the carry because they think Hector will farm faster than any carry. And they want to get a 1v1 for Chris Luck because they're like, this guy's got. We trust his mid lane. And it is working for now. Like, he is winning this lane against a Quaswex and Broker.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, though. Oh, nice arrow in the top lane. Schofield is going to get stunned up. I think he's going to be absolutely fine. There is Whisper nearby with a Mango. Could have gotten thrown out the Purification. But, bottom lane, man, this is a South American game if ever I saw it. 4-4-4 is going to get taken down again. And that's another kill now here for Hector.
He's working well. This is how you're supposed to play Gyrocopter. It's literally like food delivery, right? The supports are there to give him kills when Hector doesn't actually have to move. He's just being fed these kills, but he still stays consistently farming. He has 28 last hits. He's leading. In comparison, the Juggernaut by HFN, he's doing fine, 19 last hits, but Whisper is actually annoying him considerably. This is the Trilin effect until now.
You know, hats out, though, to Lelis down here. He is managing to get those levels. They have... If I were them, I wouldn't send the Grimstroke back down there. I think he's going to end up being food. Like you said, these supports just keep delivering him on a silver platter. Oh, Theolicor starting to sit very, very low here on the top line. Runes are up. The leap forward. Oh, the silence. Oh, he pays for it with his life.
Okay.
I think that's worth it, though, right? I think that's worth it. You get the rune for your team, and you die in the process.
Your life is worth the room, but it's a good counter at least by Schofield, so he's not too unhappy about that. I'm interested in Schofield's build as well. He's going maxing Illusory Orb, then Waning Rift, and bottom lane, by the way.
I am watching it.
4.
I have my eyes on it, and again, they need to just not have him here. Although, if they get a kill over on Hector, this is actually really, really big. HFN, they're checking. Can they get there fast enough? We do have boots online, but the phase boots over on Hector, I think he's going to be too fast unless they can land an arrow, which is currently on cooldown for another 7 seconds. I don't think... Oh, but the tornado! Adriano says, thanks for the delivery, friends. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, that was a very good rotation there by HFN. Now they swap lanes a bit, relieve some pressure, help Lelis. And look, this is the ideal swap. When Magnus has level 3 and Empower, you can actually give the Empower right as you walk away and farm the jungle or whatever. Middle lane though, first
4DR. Sitting very, very low here, but there's going to be the pincering coming out from the side of the supports. Starfall will come out. Should actually be fine. I don't think it's a big problem.
To give the arrow here to... No, okay. They were just taking the rune. That could have been an arrow to Chris Luck, but Theolicor doesn't want to play that. They just want to let ADR heal back up. Thanks to Quas, though, that initiation's not that impactful, and he can just be back online and continues to farm the lane. However, Chris Luck already got what he wanted from this lane. 37 last hits to 24. He's happy. Now ADR is ready to play, because he has an EMP and Tornado combo, effectively, but it's a bit too late. Chris Luck already did what he needed to do. And now he's actually harassing pretty hard just with auto attacks.
I like that,
Oh.
Oh, they'll turn back around. He doesn't realize that Stinger is here, though, so I don't think he can really make those moves that he wants to. And you can see that the Grimstroke is up over here on the side, just doing some stacking, trying to help out his team as much as he can. Interesting to note, we haven't seen many stacks for the TA, but I guess they're not too concerned about that. There's one stack over here on the Ancients.
Yeah, since TA now, I think, is what Ancient stacks you usually try to take. I mean, sometimes if you're falling behind, you take normal creep stacks, but it's really just the Ancients. I think maybe until you get those later, you're not consistently taking them. So there's like a couple small stacks when they can, but they're not constrained so much as they used to. Before, TA timing was like a massive thing, but I think, especially Beast Coast, they play Chris Luck much more as a space creator, so they let him farm his first item or so, get him a couple stacks to help him a bit, not committing too much. The supports are there to help Hector. He's the main guy who's going to carry the team.
We do have a little bit of a swap up again. Omni Knight has sent to the bottom lane to go and mess with the Magnus. He is holding on to that final point here for the level 6. Isn't quite sure if his team wants to go and fight. And I don't think they're going to be doing too much heavy fighting. Although, as I say this, in the top lane, the Olokor are going to get stunned up over here. Blinding Light comes through. Stinger trying to juke himself away, but they're body blocking him. The arrow comes out, and they'll find a kill on the Coddle.
Very happy with that small kill. You know, you take away Stinger, that's a lot of pressure relief, but Zealous could be the counter kill as a result.
I think he's out. They don't have any way to cancel. This puck is only level 4 right now, and of course Omni Knight doesn't have anything to cancel TPs, but this is going to be a lot of damage on this tower. They are sending the Mirana down, though, so perhaps they'll try to push them off, and does scout out in an invis as well.
He is very close to the Moonlight Shadow as well, so you know he might try to arrow creep, get an initiation off bottom. I don't know how much you want to commit to Whisper though. This is a mistake a lot of teams make when playing against Beast Coast. They try to stop Whisper, and it's not Whisper you have to stop. He's there to space
good arrow though. Whisper throwing out that heal.
Oh.
It's hard though, right? It's very hard to take down Whisper, first of all, and then it's also difficult because you've got this Omni Knight backing you up. He doesn't have any points in that Heavenly Grace just yet, but even the heal bomb alone, he's got 4 points in it. It's going to be difficult to burst down these heroes right now. Because they don't really, the only burst they have, I guess, would be the Invoker or possibly, you know, the Jug if he gets the Omni Slash off.
Yeah, and the Invoker's Quas Wex, right? So it's okay burst, but it's not like a Quas Exhort, yeah. So, you're totally right.
We got some pin going on, though.
Oh,
making their way down. This is going to be a dead Schofield, I have a feeling. They'll open up with a Tornado. Easy peasy. Dead Fairy Dragon. Theolacor. Ooh, he manages to go pop that Invis. And now it's a Whisper against the world. But this is space. This is 100% space because they've rotated 4 heroes down to this bottom lane. And now they're putting pressure here on the top lane. Hector is just happy to farm. So it was a nice gank, but at the same time, does it do enough? I guess it also secures them these bounty runes, right?
It does. The bounty runes are nice. Maybe you can take an objective as well. I don't know. I don't think so, actually. Tier 1 is a bit too far off. They are putting pressure on Hector now, though, in the top lane.
And they've got the Moonlight Shadow. They should be able to grab this rune, though, in time. Oh, he actually manages to grab it, and he is going to fall for this, though. Although, with the Stinger here, can he save him? No. All right, you got to ride that horse off into the sunset here, Stinger, because you are in a lot of trouble. In fact, again, that's a 4-man rotation.
Yeah, see, that one's not worth it. Sacrificing your carry for a rune? No. You don't want to do that. But he was already there, so he got the best out of a bad situation. At least he gets a bounty. And the good thing about this is that since Hector is actually farming, so something I really like about Beast Coast is that they understand kind of item timings and who needs to be farming at what time, right? And right now, Chris Luck is the guy who needs the important items. As he's going for HFN.
Ooh, that was a great arrow over into the mid lane. I don't know if they can follow up, though. I don't know if they have enough damage.
You have cold stuff. No.
They do, but they need a little bit more damage, I think, to be able to take down this TA at this time. It's level 10 right now. Level 8 on the Invoker.
Doesn't actually care. Look at this. He's just farming right at... The Invoker just Tornado EMP'd you, took away a lot of your mana. You're there like, okay, these are my creeps, though, so I'm going to take them.
Bottom tower is going to get taken. That's going to be able to open up the Radiant Jungle here for the Dire.
That's nice. And that's something Beast Coast likes doing as well. Whenever they start harassing Hector in the top lane, he swaps jungles. He doesn't bother. He's not meant to fight right now, so he's just gonna swap lanes as soon as he feels threatened. It's like a nature documentary. And
like a nature documentary. And here we have the wild HFN in his natural habitat. You can see that when threatened, he will push himself towards a different migratory pattern.
That's fantastic. I can see you are a fan of the Attenborough as well. National hero of the UK. Well, with this, HFN is at least given some space to farm the bottom lane, right next to the tier 2, so that helps him out slightly. But so is Beast Coast has some space also to start playing more aggressively with their supports. Is why you pick a puck, I think.
So this is the one thing I really do admire about Beast Coast is that a lot of teams, they'll push HFN out of his lane, and then they'll just kind of forget about him. If you notice, yes. Beast Coast isn't forgetting about HFN. They know he's here. They know that they're keeping tabs on him. They want to just keep putting pressure, and that's very, very important when you're playing against paiN Gaming.
Exactly. I mean, they respect paiN Gaming. That's another thing. A lot of teams I find when they fight against HFN, they go, well, he can farm, but what does that mean? Well, HFN comes out of jungle, he has like 10k over your carry, you go, well, yeah, now this is a problem. But Beast Coast respects him, and also they understand very much that this is a carry game. All they want is for Hector to be more farmed than HFN and let Hector carry them. That's how they play. This is their style, and it works out for them. But this also means putting pressure, not just letting Hector farm. Because Hector's already farming really well. In fact, this Ag's already completed on him, which is pretty good timing for a Gyrocopter. Skip drums altogether, no Wraith Band, just 2 slippers of agility. This is full farming mode, Hector.
When you go up against the king of farming, you got to be able to hold your own, right?
I don't know if HFN can keep that title after this game, you know. Look at this. Like, he's being beat by 1200. He's an empowered Juggernaut.
Oh my god. Did you see the amount of damage Chris Luck just dished out on him?
And he just got Desolator now. He didn't have it for that team fight.
That's very scary right now. And it's not even that HFN is doing too poorly, right? He's still top of his team's net worth. Obviously, you're not going to be able to be on the same level as a TA, although, has he been getting empowered?
Well, sometimes, but he's also been farming along without it. I think the Magnus is trying to recover as well.
That's true.
So he's not always been with him. For the most part, Les have been doing a pretty good job, though, of empowering him for the, a couple of creep stacks like these, for example. This is a good ancient stack for HFN. Take advantage of it. And what is his first item? What do you think is going to be? Is it Manta, perhaps, after the Yasha? Take away the silence on the puck?
I don't know. It's possible that would be a good choice. I know SNY is usually very, very popular, too.
Yeah.
And it depends if he wants to build into a halberd later as well, because sometimes you'll see them break it up.
That's true. That's true. For the late game, maybe just to deal with Hector.
Especially.
Yeah, as well. I do wonder how afraid HFN is, because I know his usual style of play is, well, I'm just going to farm, and, when I'm ready, I'll go fight. But against Beast Coast, you might want to swap that up. And I wonder if that means different items, more oriented to the mid-game. So perhaps SNY just to try to fight early. We don't see drums on him, though, so for now, he is just calmly using Empower.
Well, he does have the drums queued up.
Oh, well, there we go.
So just maybe just in a little different order here, but again, they're putting a lot of pressure on him. If you notice, he's constantly having the TP between 2 shrines. He's not allowed to just, sit in the triangle and farm to his heart's content. Wherever he goes, there's usually a puck or a whisper or someone just trailing him, keeping an eye on where he is.
It's true.
And I think
I will say that
difference.
Going for the Yasha here for HFN, I will say that it is one of the more efficient farming items early. So you might want to start matching Gyrocopter's farm, but also being able to fight, which is why he goes for drum next. Makes sense. I think it's a pretty good build. This is a nice Moonlight Shadow, but it's a bit blind.
Is it a good Moonlight Shadow? Because they definitely saw him. They definitely dusted him.
You mean, for Teal Core, yes. I was looking at the top lane. I was like, well, they could rotate here, but they don't see anyone.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's why they popped the Moonlight Shadow, rather.
Yeah.
On the bottom lane.
Yeah. But Teal will survive this, thank God to the leaps. That's one of the advantages of playing Mirana, right? You can play a bit more aggressively, not be too afraid of being caught out.
Do they realize how much is sitting behind Chris Luck right now? Is my question. Because I really want to get this final tower right. This is a very important tower if you're playing for the Roche control, which is definitely something that Beast Coast wants to do. They have a TA. It's very important, especially with the Deso online. And what do we have coming out on Courier? Is that a Blink Dagger coming out for... There's the Blink.
Yeah.
Chris Luck is online and ready to slay.
Wow.
That's
the timing for Blink is 17 minutes usually. He's 1 minute early. That's fantastic. You can't ask for better.
Look at the blink away. HFN is so sad right now. They'll follow up with a nice Stream Coil. Waning Rift. Gonna slow him down. It's gonna be a nice Tornado. Buys him a little bit more time. Chris Luck, he's trying to put as much damage as possible. Doesn't have any mana left. Whisper coming through. Look at this Will-O-Wisp. It's beautiful, but they'll follow up with a nice Soulbind. And of course that Phantom's Embrace will slow them down just a little bit. This is a very scrappy game, and it looks like now paiN trying to run themselves out. 4-4-4 will be the first to fall. They still see Adriano over here. They want him. They've got the Ghost Walk. They had Dust, though, over on this puck. In fact, they managed to go and drop a sentry, but paiN Gaming is just on the full retreat. Lelis does have his Blink Dagger, though. He's waiting for for the perfect moment. Would like to get in there with that RP, but the problem is, will they have the damage? Chris Luck jumps forward, finds himself HFN, the spin comes out, and again, they're going to just back themselves over to the high ground, casually throwing out these EMP tornadoes, hoping that it'll dissuade them from keep going. Lellis, he's being so patient. He wants this. He goes for the skewer. He misses. Oh, disaster. As Hector, he's still alive and kicking. That Starstorm does a little bit of damage over to Hector, but not nearly enough, as they'll take themselves 2 towers and happily walk away.
Oh, so they actually played that really well, because that was around Hector's first power peak, which is the Aghanim's Maelstrom, and they immediately just charged at them. Yes, paiN was also thinking about this as well, but it was just the perfect time for Beast Coast. The Ag's Maelstrom and the Desolator Blink Dagger for Chris Luck. First power peak utilized effectively. paiN now going for a counter tower, seeing if at least they can take this. Not a bad idea, but it's not as well as taking a tier 2 directly 80 minutes in.
Well, they realized that in this case, they pretty much used everything on the side of Beast Coast. So they see an opening. Schofield is a master of catching these arrows half the time, but does manage to phase shift himself away.
Yeah, he's doing what Schofield usually does, right? I'm about to die, but no, wait, I have an escape. Like, that's why he plays Tusk as well. He's just wasting time for the enemy team. They just chased after him for a bit. paiN wasted a bit of time, realized this is not what we want to do. We want to keep on farming on HFN and put pressure ideally on the enemy carries. But it becomes harder, because Beast Coast has opened the map nicely for themselves. Oh, that arrow misses from Chris Luck.
Was a good dodge. Good dodge, and even manages to blink away before that arrow can hit and cancel out the regen rune. So we do have several heroes over here. We've got a sentry over here, but it does not belong to the side of Beast Coast. As they push back Chris Luck, he's silenced up. He needs help from the team, and the rest of the team is here. They'll drop the Ignis, they'll go drop a Dream Coil as well. Look at the snap, though, with the blinding light. That is so beautiful. As now Chris Luck is chasing after Theolacor. He really would like to get this kill, but I'm not sure he's going to be quite fast enough. Does have a blink available, though, coming out from Schofield. They're going to go right into the base. Oh, boy, this might be a little bit too far, my friends. The final Illuminate going to be able to get the kill. The buyback comes out from Theolacor. He's pissed. He's mad that they've gone all the way into his base and just chased him like that, and they weren't able to repel them.
Nice managed to take down the tier 3 already.
This is a 19 minutes tier 3.
Well, we did say this is the lineup. Their whole point is I run at you. I don't need catch. I just want to run at you, and it's working perfectly. It's 90 minutes, and they're leading by so much, and there's very little payN can do to stop them. That ghost hits, but that Blink Dagger, again, on point for Chris Luck.
HFN, he wants this. They have drums. They do have a smoke going on, but they're loath to commit right now. Arrow comes out. Not going to be able to land on anyone. Just does a little bit of scouting. See if anyone's sticking around the trees. Chris Luck being very greedy. Just casually, you know, farming up camps as he runs through on the retreat. And they do ping out that they can see Hector up here in the top line. So they might try to go for a movement. They do have a smoke. And already you can see Hector doesn't want anything to do with it. Already just walks right back into his base. Says better luck next time.
They knew. I mean, this is a classic South American smoke. We just lost a team fight. We're going to go for a smoke now because the enemy team won't expect this. But Beast Coast knows because they're also South American. It's not going to work against them. Works against European and Chinese teams, but not against these guys. So they probably just ran away. Even with a smoke, they were probably expecting something like that. And they just evaded this. Now Lelis could be in trouble, though.
Oh, boy. Theolacor, too, is going to be able to go and grab himself that rune. And they will be able to find the kill on Lelis. He's just wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately for him. HFN going to have to TP out. Luckily, they didn't have the puck nearby with the Dream Coil to cancel it. And they did just use it, obviously, on Lelis.
Well, that is... Beast Coast is just dominating right now, executing their plan perfectly, and still getting the farm for Hector and for Chris Luck. It's impressive how well they're playing, honestly. Even Whisper's actually doing pretty well. He's got all the utility items. He hasn't really had to be a space creator. This arrow won't do much. I don't know if you can defend Roshan if you're paiN. You have an Omni Slash, but it goes down too quickly. Double
but the tornado! The tornado, are they going to be able to sneak in there? No, not fast enough, unfortunately, for the side of paiN Gaming.
It's unfortunate because you have the Invoker's supposed to be your space creator, but he just can't. He is a good space creator, but not compared to a TA. He doesn't deal half enough damage. You need the damage dealer to be someone else, and HFN needs more items before the Omni Slash becomes impactful here. Just a Manta style for now. It's okay, but you're looking for at least like Maelstrom, maybe Diffusal Blade if you just want the quick mid-game juggernaut. I don't know. Beast Coast is a tough beast to slay right now.
Well, I mean, the other thing, too, keep in mind, we've talked about this before. Usually, people will shut down HFN during the laning stage and they forget about him. But Beast Coast, they have not allowed that to happen. They've made sure that wherever HFN is, at least one of their players is nearby to put pressure on him to make him uneasy. And they've also managed, the jump forward. They're getting real ballsy over here on the side of Beast Coast. But they will turn their attention now over to the racks. This is very unusual for South American teams to ignore a kill like that and go for objectives. Hats off to them.
Yeah, that is one of the main differences as well between Beast Coast and other South American teams. They understand objectives. They'll still dive tier 3s, but at least they'll take them afterwards, right? And here they take the Rex ready, but they still need to take all the other outer towers to actually be able to threaten mega creeps if they want to. For now, they're going back to farming, getting the next set of items. Perhaps they have BKB on Gyrocopter they want to show off. They still haven't had a chance. Chris Luck
is absolutely insane. Oh my god. He just leaps forward into the entire team. The buyback's going to come out immediately from 444. They managed to go drop the Ignis. They don't want to let Magnus out. He is being pulled back in though. He's got the sleep. They'll get the kill on Lilith. There's no RP coming out now. And now Stinger is going to fall. They'll be able to go pop the Guardian Angel. Now 4DR, he throws out that Purge. It's not going to be enough to save him though, so they'll take him down. There's another arrow, but they've got BKBs up and running. The buybacks are coming out en masse as they are going to be able to take down HFN. They took down Schofield. They're still chasing after Lelis. They'll get the kill on Lelis. Adriano, they call GG. They have had enough of this game. And while you were talking earlier, the start to that fight, Alvaro, was incredible because you just saw Schofield. Right place, right time. Throws out an illusory orb. Scouts out literally the entire team on the side of the Radiant. And then just, you see Chris Luck pick up that double damage, blinks forward. The Mad Lad even gets arrowed during this before he actually takes on 444 and then gets arrowed by Theolacor. But this team they converge and they know at that point on paiN Gaming, that's it for them.
What a play. I mean, you can't really fault paiN Gaming. I don't think they made too many mistakes. It's just Beast Coast is way too dominant. This game, the Puck and Kato combination, man, when I saw that blinding light, just something in me just great, fantastic little blinding light dream coil combination. I love it. It was such a good draft. It was such a well played, and they played their draft to perfection. Congratulations, Beast Coast. Great first victory, but I'm hoping paiN can show something better next game.
I'd like to see. I think they can come back. I think one of the problems is letting Chris Luck get one of his perfect heroes, right? This is his favorite hero. He's shown how dominant he can be on it, and he played it perfectly, Alvaro, because 3, 0, and 7. You do not want your Templar Assassin ever to fall, because you fall once, all right, you're having trouble. You fall twice, you're basically obsolete. He played that so well. Whisper played really well. I'm liking the Puck on Schofield. Stinger had some great Ignis coming out. K1, obviously, Hector, he's awesome. And that's not to say that paiN Gaming didn't play this well. It's just they couldn't keep up, and they figured out how to kind of unravel their plans, right? Because a lot of pressure gets placed on HFN. Chris Luck was doing very well in the mid against 4DR, and Lelis just got shot down. So I think if they go back, they take a look at this laning stage again on paiN Gaming, I think they can come back even stronger. Just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping that paiN can just make a consistent draft again, and as you say, take away some of the heroes from Beast Coast. I believe in them. I'm hoping for a game number 3. I just want to see more of this series. It's a very great series.
I do too. You know. I still have a feeling that these are the two teams we're going to be seeing going off to the major. But it is a treat to be able to watch both these. But we're going to take a short break, guys. When we come back, we'll have game number 2. Stick around.